with God, but made himself of no reputation. He took upon himself the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. Let this mind be in you. A couple of weeks now I've been talking about the spiritual man. So what I'm going to do today is to share with you the mindset of a spiritual man. The mindset of a spiritual man. Now I need you to understand that for you to be a spiritual person, I took time to explain to us what it means to be a spiritual person, but you need to understand the place of or the role of your mind when it comes to the happenings in your life. The role of your mind when it comes to the happenings in your life. Somebody said the thought is always before the action. The thought. In other words, before you can start acting, when you see somebody acting in such a way that is acting, it started from the thought first. It's something that started from somebody's thinking. That's what the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, in his mind, so is he. Worldliness is not what you do, but what you think. Because what we do is a product of what we think. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So what is therefore the mindset of a spiritual man? That is what we are going to do today. So we're going to check today. Somebody, Dr. Joyce Meyer said something I love so much. He said, where your mind goes, the man goes. Where the mind goes, the man goes. That is what do you understand what it means? Where your mind goes, you go. Somebody think and start acting. So when we speak of the mindset of a spiritual man, what are we really talking about here? We are talking about the thinking pattern, the thinking system, what goes on in the mind of a spiritual man. Because the Bible tells us that there are two kinds of mind that you can have. One is called the carnal mind, the other one is called the spiritual mind. The Bible says to be carnally minded is what? To be carnally minded is what? To be carnally minded is death. That means when your mind is filled up with carnality, the things of the flesh, the things that are self-gratification, the things that are based on the dictate of your emotion, your feelings. He said when you live your life by those things, it will end up in death. He said for to be spiritually minded is life eternal. So what does it mean to be spiritually minded? The Bible tells us in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, and Paul began to speak about the way a spiritual mind thinks. How do you think? What do you have upstairs as a spiritual man? The Bible says you think of the things that are right. Think about the things that are right. Apostle Paul says, whatsoever thing is right. Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. Whatsoever thing is right. Hear me. Wrong thinking produces wrong life. Wrong thinking produces wrong living. If you are going to change the way you live, you must change the way you think. There is no way you can think right if you can live right if your thoughts are wrong. So anyone you see that is thinking wrong, that is living wrong, is a product of thinking wrong. The Bible says, Apostle Paul said to the church in Philippi, he said, whatsoever thing, anything you think is right. Think about those things. Because what you think determines what you live, or the way you live your life. So whatsoever thing is right, think about those things. Whatsoever thing is of honest things, not crooked things. When you see a man living a crooked life, a life that is not honest, a fake life, is a product of his thinking pattern. Whatsoever thing is honest, whatsoever thing is just, think about these things. Think about just things. One of the reasons why we are where we are today is that many people don't think in a just way. How do you tell me